Fuck it, let's do it live. Welcome to a not-so-chill hangout, first since April 20th, 420, baby. And no music, no intro, we're just getting straight to it. My internet is annoying me because it was supposed to be fixed, and it's giving me problems. And I couldn't do my wrestling podcast as I would have liked to do it. So, perhaps the internet will hold up for this. Maybe the internet doesn't like wrestling talk, but maybe it'll like political talk. We'll see what happens. So here we are. It's been a while. Shout out to Inspector Todd. He says, fuck it, let's do it live. And yeah, it's been a while since I've been on, especially with the chill stream. As I mentioned on my 20-minute wrestling podcast, first, my internet goes out for a week, then have internet problems, then supposedly it's fixed. Last week, there was too much going on in the news and stuff, and I was more focused on that. Obviously, the attempted assassination of President Donald J. Trump, and I've been spending time analyzing all the information that has been slowly coming out about that. Again, my internet's, according to what I'm seeing here, is excellent connection, according to YouTube. And yet it's buffering? I don't know. Let's check the live stream. As I mentioned on my 20-minute. But regardless, shout out to all those that are choosing to join us right now. And we send our gratitude and appreciation to all of them. So, coming out about politics, including just today, dropped a letter that was written, supposedly by Joe Biden, to his fellow Americans that he is announcing that he will not pursue the nomination, and he's just going to continue his job until the end of his term, which now opens the door to another nominee. And we're going to see whether or not, in fact, it's Kamala Harris or somebody else. Shout out to Stony Tony in the chat. It says, stay Tony, Dave Starr. God bless. Thank you very much, Stony Tony, and hope things are well with you in that city of Boston. But, yeah, it's quite incredible, the stuff that's coming out. My predictions seem to be coming to fruition. And, yeah, it looks like it's going to be an interesting several months before the election. I can't say what I suspect is going to occur because I did do that about 4 years ago, and YouTube decided to take down several of my videos, including Strike Me. So, yeah, but if you have even half a brain, you don't need to be a mathematician, you know what happened last time. We saw it, okay? And obviously Joe Biden is not the most popular president ever, even more than Obama. That's one of the most ludicrous claims that I've and you've ever heard. Yeah, just dropping today. This letter that was sent out. I'll read it out to you people. How about that? My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we've made great progress as a nation. False. It's regressed. I'm going to be interjecting at every fucking lie that we're seeing here. Inspector Todd says Kamala Harris will be the choice. It's the safest play. Probably. At least when it comes to safety and so forth. At least it doesn't risk that much. There's been talk about Hillary Clinton going in, which would be fucking hilarious. There's also talk of Big Mike, a.k.a. Michelle Obama, running. And again, no qualifications whatsoever. A. Bowers says, have you tried streaming on your phone? No, because I used up all my data during the weeks that my internet didn't work. So, and the company I'm with, who I will be speaking to very shortly, they're going to have to give me a better deal or I'm dropping them. It's fucking pathetic how much we're getting ripped off. Inspector Todd says, I still have Dave's 9/11 video saved. Oh, very cool. I knew that would get taken down with quickness. Yes. Seems to be that YouTube is quite predictable these days. EJ News and Podcast says 7 more likes to 10. Well, thank you very much. Shout out to the 9 viewing right now. So back. Oh, shout out to Danny MT. He's back there. We'll eventually take calls once I get through a few things here, and we'll see how well the internet works with that. But according to the letter that was supposedly written by Biden, we know his Twitter isn't. Today, America is the strongest economy in the world. That's false. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation. That's also false. In lowering prescription drug costs for seniors. That's false. And expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. I'm sorry, but those aren't Americans. Those are illegals. That's who you expanded that health care to. There's still homeless vets, still underfunded VA. But yeah, you're not referring to real Americans. We provided critically needed care to million veterans exposed to toxic substances. Also false. Passed the first gun safety law in 30 years. So you're basically infringing on the Second Amendment. So yeah, you legal laws. They're unlawful. And they're infringing on people's rights. And all you're trying to do is get more people killed. Appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court. What the fuck? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Are they being nominated because of their skills or just because of their skin color? Because you have Clarence Thomas. He's a black judge on the Supreme Court. He was elected a long time ago. Is that lesser than this? Most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. Well, Canada, I think, has you beat there because we're fucking totally stupid up here with Trudeau running the ship into the ground. And all that means is basically you're stifling the economy, you're stopping technology development, and relying on things, first of all, based on fear-mongering and untruths, and essentially trying to cripple not just the American economy, but the world with technologies that certainly can't hold up to the regular rigors of life, but all your buddies are getting real rich with their green schemes while people scream. And it's absolutely fucking pathetic. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. The world's laughing at you, is what it is. He continues, says, I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. No. We protected and preserved our democracy. Well, fucktard. America is not a democracy. I always get fucking so bothered by this. America is a constitutional republic. Demos. The key word for democracy means the many. Cracy is rule of. Democracy means the rule of the many, aka the rule of the mob. A constitutional republic defines itself by its protection of the individual. The two systems couldn't be totally fucking different. And I find it absolutely disgusting that this pervasive lie keeps getting pushed over and fucking over again. America is not a democracy. That's what they want to change it into. But America is a constitutional republic where the individual rights are protected over the rule of the mob. Continuing. Let me light a smoke here because this just reading this fucking vile bullshit doesn't make me pleased at all. Shout out to Spartan King of Texas there in the chat. Let's catch up with a bit of what's going on in the chat while I regroup. They will stick with Biden if he does it. If he dies, they'll just weekend at Bernie's that shit. Haven't they been doing that already? If you know what I'm saying. Let's see here. What else? What else? They're talking about Jake Puxine, not interested in that. You still got to get. Oh no, they're still talking about fighting. All right, you guys keep talking about the fighting. Where's the next thing? Okay, so we left off on democracy. And we've revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. Really? This motherfucker. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it's been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it's in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely in fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term, which I find very comical because you had Democrats themselves demanding that he step down, but they certainly demand that he didn't seek the nomination or re-election, but they were perfectly fine with him continuing to run the country. So what is it? He's not competent enough to seek re-election, but he's competent enough to run the economy and run the government? Absolute fucking bullshit. He goes on, he says, I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. Now, he claims that he's got COVID and he's staying home. And it's quite comical because prior to that announcement, he actually came out publicly and said that if doctors found that he was ill, left it very loose in wording, he basically said, yeah, I would consider stepping down. So with a little coof, that's why you're stepping down? False. He continues, he says, for now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. And now basically your democracy, your rule there, where all these people voted for Biden, now they're being disenfranchised. They're going to have their new nominee selected for them, even though they voted for Biden. Yeah, great stuff, your democracy there. Just deciding to impose their will and their rule on those that actually tried to use the system to express their votes and use their franchise. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. These are total fucking lies. I believe today, what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. And then he signs his name. What a fucking piece of shit. Fucking absolutely disgusting. But it's interesting because, last Saturday is when the attempted assassination occurred. And it becomes quite evident once you sense, which a lot of people in this community have not, and you could hear it with all the fucking streams that were happening last week, some of the shittiest, dumbest fucking takes ever, that this clearly was planned. Competence, it's not gross negligence. All the information that's been coming out shows that the intention was for Trump to be assassinated and for it to be broadcast on television. But as normally is the case, where Trump rallies are sometimes broadcast by one or two smaller broadcasters, this time around, all those news sites were covering the rally as if somehow they had been tipped off that they wanted to expose this to everyone. So basically what that tells us is that they wanted as many people as possible to witness a live assassination. And for that image to be ingrained in people's minds, just like what happened with 9/11, they wanted that to be a traumatic experience on people and burned into their brain. Now consider this. There's been talk about getting Biden out of his position as nominee to select somebody else. And, if you think logically, you would understand that, okay, Trump gets assassinated on Saturday because they've been claiming that the biggest threat to America isn't Chinese infiltration, isn't the open border, isn't the absolute corrupt nature of many of the politicians. No, it's, white supremacy. So they were then going to plan an attack on Biden and his supporters, successfully kill Biden, and then blame it on Trump supporters, which would have killed two birds with one stone. So it would have removed Trump, but it also would have removed Biden. And then they would have been able to just push on through with whatever selected individual they wanted. And on the premise of unity, they'd say, well, now's not a time to talk about the election or about, Republicans winning or, providing a viable candidate. No, this is about unity. So we're us and just accept what we're going to impose upon the American people. Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat here. My OBS is again telling me that there's some sort of issue, but we'll see what the stream says. What do we got here? Oh, they're still talking about boxing. Yeah, that's something like that. Let's check with the stream here. Getting Biden out of his position. All right. Is anyone interested in the politics talk, or are you guys just fucking talking about the boxing? Okay. Back to the whole Trump thing. Yeah, it's quite clear that this was planned. You have the Secret Service, who's now reporting that she will be resigning come this Monday, that they didn't consider putting a sniper where the shooter was, Crooks, because it was on a sloped roof and it was dangerous. Meanwhile, those spotters and snipers, counter snipers that were covering that area and waited 42 seconds after spotting him and about 5 to 7 seconds after the shots began to finally shoot at the sniper. They were on a slope roof. No problems there, right? So just it's quite clear that that was the plan. You had Biden basically take away Trump's. He'd been attempting to fully take away Trump's Secret Service and what they left him with was a bunch of people that weren't even Secret Service, people who were absolutely incompetent. You've probably seen the images of that Secret Service woman struggling to holster her weapon. There's video of the Escalade driver, Secret Service, opening the door and waiting for them to rush from the stage with President Trump. And they were just hanging out there, covering his body somewhat. That the fat woman certainly wasn't. She was far away. And probably, again, in on it as well, hoping for an additional set of shots to fully take him out. Thank God that didn't happen. And they eventually did get him to the truck and so forth. There's so much that is evident that this was clearly a planned inside job. And so many people, whether it be the head of the FBI, again, DEI hire, female, head of the Secret Service, DEI hire, female, that goes to show that this was planned. There's no way around it. And since the plan was get Biden out, or get Trump out, and then place the blame on a Trump supporter. Remember, they've tried to do that in the past. They've tried to say, oh, this mass shooting was a Trump supporter. Turns out it wasn't. And that happened multiple times during Trump's presidency as well as after. So they were attempting to sway the public opinion against Trump and his supporters by getting Biden assassinated as well. And then, hey, that's convenient for the Democrats because now they don't have to get everyone to vote or push to remove Biden from the ticket. Now they can just add whoever the fuck they want. We've got J.D. Vance, who was announced as the vice presidential candidate by Trump. An interesting choice, not one of my preferred, but hey, thankfully Mark Rubio is not one of those guys. Neither is Mike Pence, that fucking turncoat traitor. Danny MT in the chat says, laugh my ass off. Love you, Dave. I promise I'm listening, interested, but Spartan and I are always talking fighting. Yes, you are. Um, what else we got that I was going to cover with this? Yeah, bad takes on the fucking on the shooting from several people in this community. It's absolutely insane how stupid people are, how ignorant, and on the topic. I tried to tune into several of them, and my God, the stupidity was it was overwhelming. Speaking of stupid, let me see if I can pull this up here for you. Come on, where is it? I just got to bring this up here. All right, hold on. Shibbity bop, shibbity bop. I got to adjust this. Just making this bigger. Hold on. Damn it. Here, there we go. So I did find it quite comical that both, that YR did a stream initially on the come on, guys, we need Ken and Joe to go live and reunite just for the sake of the community, which I thought was hilarious. But YR also did he put a post on the community thing on YouTube about the shooter. He looks like a Mongo. He looks like, somebody in this community. Hey, bruv, you are the fucking Mongo. All right? You can't look at that and not tell me that fucking looks like Chiclet Mouth there. You can't tell me that. It's got the same chin, nose, chiclet teeth, forehead, eyebrows, even the hair. So, who the fuck are you to call people Mongo? Unfucking real. But yeah, some terrible, terrible fucking takes from YR and others. Joe was fucking... I take issue with Joe specifically because of the fact that his fucking rhetoric over the last few years about Trump being this bad guy and all the tweets and like the hurt feelings and again, coming from a guy who said that he voted for Obama the first term because he was black, not because of his qualifications, not because of his policy. Again, a lot of people are so stupid, they don't know politics. Again, Joe Cronin, a prime example, claiming that he would be a great president. And when I confronted him about his platform, he's like, I'll just be a good president. It's like, no, what's your policies? What's your platform? What would you run on? Nope, you can't even answer that. And the rhetoric that Joe's been pushing out, again, he voted for Obama the first time because he was black. And then he supported him, or he cheered him on for the second term. Way to use the rights that are granted to you to vote and speak with your vote. No, just you cheered him on. Great stuff there, buddy. Great stuff. But the fucking rhetoric that Joe's been spewing about Trump being the bad guy and so forth clearly has caused a sentiment both in his community, and it's a microcosm of the world, American world in general, because of the fact that the stupid sound bits that they take from The View or listening to ABC or MSNBC are fucking replete with fallacies and straight up lies. But Orange Man said bad things, made my feelings hurt. And this is how you generate such and people that are willing to do these sorts of crimes and such. And not just to Trump, but to his supporters as well. Shout out to Man with two first names. Shout out to J Diz in the chat. We had, and again, I don't recommend going back and listening to that. My internet connection probably wouldn't support me replaying that sort of thing, but it's just so pathetic. It's so pathetic that the stuff... You know what? Maybe I will. I'm a sort of masochist. But just the dumbest shit. You had people talking about the ballistics, or about acoustics, of ballistics, just fucking pathetic. No clue about firearms whatsoever. And yet they were claiming, oh, that's small caliber firing, a 22 long rifle. Nope. No, it certainly wasn't. It was 5.56 millimeter, aka 223 caliber. And just fucking retarded shit. Sorry, I'm getting distracted with the chat here. Just the dumbest shit coming out from people in this community, and yet they actually want to influence you, and certainly they want to vilify the Second Amendment. Anyone that actually wants to exercise their God-given right of bearing firearms. Shout out to the 13 viewing. I'm sure there's many hate watchers out there. Let me relight my smoke. So much talking, it just went out. Oh, that's a dead lighter. Check 1 2. Something's amiss here. I don't know. Something's telling me something. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, fuck you, Windows. But yeah, why not? Let's see if I can pull this up here. I was told by several people about Joe Cronin doing this live stream. I'm not sub to him, but people send the link and stuff, and I was curious. I wasn't watching the rally live, but I was actually on a news site, well, a message board at that point that provides news, and the headline pops up of shots fired at the rally, and I immediately went into investigative mode, started to comb the internet for more news about this, and a lot of news sites, including Canadian sites, were saying Trump rushed off stage after loud noises heard in the crowd. So disingenuous. Till the last fucking moment, they were denying what was clear to even somebody without a brain, that this was an assassination attempt. And the absolute lies that the media fucking puts out is just fucking, it's disgusting. It's an insult to everyone's intelligence, and they're contemptible. It's as simple as that. All right, let's see if I can pull this up here. Internet being stupid again. Aspects of the internet are showing up for me and other ones are not. So I don't know why. Some things are loading, some things aren't. The stream kind of continues to stream. Let's see. Yeah, I'm still streaming. Okay. But yeah, just terrible takes. And I take issue. I certainly take issue when people besmirch the Second Amendment, and more importantly, that their fucking ignorance or straight up lies can actually influence people when it comes to fucking firearms. A Bowers in the chat says, there's a clip going around that the guy claiming his name was Thomas Crook saying, I hate Republicans and I hate Trump, but guess what? You got the wrong guy. That way he said it. It seems like after. Yeah, there was a lot of disinformation that was being put out. Thought they had another person. Windows is fucking up. I don't know why. They claimed another person was the shooter. It turns out that was false. That's always the case. You got to let these things play out and basically take all the information in. I've got my screenshots, but if I start showing them, the internet will probably, act stupid. But eventually I will. I'll do a more comps. There's people out there that are claiming that he bladed himself. And actually, that's something I was going to talk about on my wrestling podcast is, unfortunately, a lot of people that do watch AEW are fucking some of the softest, dumbest motherfuckers out there, aka liberals. That's what they are. Absolutely. Why? Because A, they were showing absolute disdain. People saying, just like people are saying right now, oh, I wish the shooter didn't miss. Shit like that. Like, I wouldn't say that about Biden. I wouldn't say that about Trudeau. They're criminals. They got to be brought into court, tried properly, not by a corrupt judge, and then they've got to be sentenced appropriately. But assassinating your, your potential president is fucking absolutely disgusting. Anyone fucking reveling in that is just vile. And what did I notice this past week is that a lot of fucking AEW fans were of that mindset. And again, because Trump has had so much involvement with the WWE, taking the tribalist view that I think is absolutely shit when it comes to professional wrestling, and saying, okay, we're going to side with AEW because Trump worked with the WWE. Trump working with the WWE has nothing to do with wrestling, at least the quality of wrestling, when you compare AEW and WWE. But, oh my, are fucking some AEW fans fucking retarded. So it's not like it all comes from the WWE side. There's a lot of it there. But what I saw in this last week disgusted me with people who, again, watch the better wrestling product, not sports entertainment. They're so fucking pussy. They're so fucking garbage that they're actually coming out and saying things like, I wish the shooter didn't miss. Fucking repulsive. I'm glad that I've got AEW and that I don't need to follow these people that are on Twitter and such that review or talk about AEW, because some of them are the fucking most vile, disgusting pieces of shit on the fucking planet. Yes, Todd, some people actually did say that he bladed. And then you had the AEW stands, the drones from AEW, saying, yeah, he learned that from WWE. Of course he's going to make it look good, blah, blah, blah. They actually said he bladed. They actually said that. It's fucking retarded and disgusting. You have actually, who's that black bitch? And yes, she's a black bitch from Joy Reid, I think her name was, saying that he did that to himself, that he essentially bladed, but she didn't use that term. You have other people saying, oh no, he wasn't hit at all. He was hit by glass that came off the podium and such. Fucking retarded. Man with two first names says, earliest TV debate ever, it was Biden's last chance. Earliest TV debate ever. It was Biden's last chance and he blew it. He belongs in a home eating pudding. Wrestling fans are the dumbest breed of human in the world. Sadly, I'm gonna have to agree with you. Despite the fact that I know that there's extremely intelligent people, both that watch wrestling and that are wrestlers. Chavo Guerrero Jr., one of the smartest guys I've ever interacted with that wrestles. Fans specifically are some of the dumbest people, no matter what brand, but some of the dumbest, softest people on the fucking planet. And you're absolutely right. Man with two first names. Shout out to JR for the third in the chat. It's been a long time, yes. Man with two first names. The two scariest things about wrestling fans is, one, they can vote, and two, they can breed. You're reading my mind, buddy. You're reading my mind. So you have a lot of people coming out straight up saying that it was fake, that he bladed or cut himself on purpose. You have some people saying, well, yeah, there were shooters, but no, he didn't actually get hit. Totally ignoring the fact that they were shooting at him, so it was an assassination attempt. And then you have all these people who, I've got to say this for Libs of TikTok, that account. She's been exposing these people who have been coming out and saying these things. Ton of people have been getting fired, rightfully so. And then you've got actually people on the right who aren't really real conservatives at all, because people are only conservative name, and the only thing they've conserved is allowing for progressivism to get stronger. So these people will be like, oh, well, we can't do that to them because we would be as bad as them. Hey, motherfucker, they've been doing that since Obama's time. Guy shares a fucking Hillary meme, jailed for 7 months. Old man who's white gets pulled out of his car. I bet he voted for Trump. They beat him or kill him. And there's been multiple cases of that. You have people who donate, and this even happened in Canada. You donate to the Freedom Convoy. You donate to a certain political figure. And these people then start to announce it on the internet, dox you. People have gotten hurt. People have gotten fired. And then you've got these supposed people on the right, or conservatives, because conservative, like those types of conservatives really are libertarian. They're centrists. And again, they're fence sitters, like Joe Cronin. And they really don't stand for anything because they fall for everything. And you have them basically saying, oh, well, let's just ignore the last 10 years of what's been going on and what's been happening to us. And that's why they keep losing. That's why they fucking keep losing. Because these people want them dead. And they don't even follow any rules. So you're going to follow rules? That's not how you win a fight. Back to the chat. What do we got here? Burn in Hell, Sheila Jackson Lee. Speaking of black bitches, devil is skull fucking her right now. Absolutely glad you brought that up because this bitch actually criticized Trump. She's like, I can't even watch this. On the 19th? Was it? On the 19th, actually. She was saying that about Trump's rally. Next day, she's dead. And yeah, just fucking a very divisive, evil bitch. And yeah, that's a nice thought of the devil skull fucking her for eternity. She was trash, as are most politicians. That just doesn't matter what side, because let's be honest, most of them are part of what's called the Uni Party. Okay, they can claim that they're opponents while they're in session. Meanwhile, they're going to fucking Bohemian Grove together, or they're fucking dining in some of the greatest spots, eating fucking $250 steaks and having $1,000 caviar tins and agreeing to vote for the same policies. So, yeah, fuck those people. We got Man with Two First Names says Biden endorses Kamala, but we all know she has no fucking shot. Neither does Big Mike. The devil overplayed his hand. But look at what happened last time with Biden, the most popular president with 81 million votes, right? They might not have a chance that, few are going to vote for them, but never count out what these evil people are willing to do and subvert the vote. We got Spartan King of Texas says, you still watching Dub Jr.? I don't know who Dub is. Oh, I think that's from Tony's community. All right, cool. But yeah, speaking of, I was speaking about this a while ago, but yes, being a masochist. I guess Joe Cronin combined his Trump assassination stream with his Monetize This. I think that still airs on Saturday. 7-hour stream. Ugh. Let's just dive in. Go randomly just to hear some of these fucking dumb takes. Looks like, for an hour and 13 minutes talking about Joe Biden dropping out of the presidential race. Oh, God. Well, you know what? I was going to say I can't imagine the bullshit he's saying there, but no, that'd be wrong of me, Dave. I can certainly imagine what kind of bullshit he'd be fucking saying there. And what I did hear from this assassination stream is that he was going on and on still about Bernie Sanders. Well, they took his nomination and blah, blah, blah. It's like, first of all, you dumb retard. If you couldn't see that Bernie Sanders, who celebrated his honeymoon in Soviet Russia, actually singing songs about the revolution and how they're going to take down America, if you fell for the whole old grandpa thing that he was such a kind man, and you're an idiot. You're a fucking idiot. And it's just so funny how so many people are just so politically ignorant and just straight up dumb with no critical thinking that they actually thought that that Bernie Sanders was actually on their side. Back to the chat here. Trump did an awesome tribute to Corey at the RNC. That was the firefighter that was killed, protecting his family. The Buffalo firefighter team brought Corey's uniform. Yeah, and I can't remember who it was that was saying, oh, well, they printed the name wrong on the back of the uniform and stuff. No, that was his actual uniform that he used. And it's just disgusting. Just so fucking disgusting, these people. Jar Ford III says, she was the rep for the district of Houston next to mine. Her district was the worst trash area. I don't doubt it, because these people line their pockets and they let their actual communities that they're supposed to represent fucking totally degenerate into absolute trash. Shout out to BAM6956 in the chat. Yeah, we've been talking about Biden and Clinton. Well, standing down from the nomination and so forth. Got quite a few Texans here in the chat. God bless. But I'm not too pleased with your willingness to allow all these illegals in. They should be shot on sight as soon as they step 1 inch into America, no matter who it is. Again, other countries in the world do this. Why is America not allowed to protect its sovereignty and its borders? And all the fentanyl coming in, and all the fighting-aged men coming in. Do you really see any videos of women and children coming in? Very few. The ones that you do, they're trafficked. We know this. But no, it's mostly men. And again, a lot of Chinese men of fighting age. A lot of African men. A lot of Indians. How are they getting to Mexico? Right? Because you'd think if they're seeking asylum, well, a lot of countries, including America and Canada, have the First Safe Country Act, which is, as soon as you leave your shithole, the first safe country you encounter is the one that you have to take asylum in. You can't just decide to dilly-dally through all these different countries until you get to one that's willing to bend over backwards and use taxpayer money to give you everything. Meanwhile, there's homeless Americans and Canadians on the street. You have vets who fought in wars, who are living in tent cities, who are not getting the help that they need. Let's see here. Remember when he was complaining about the wages and then he did the same thing with his staff? I'm not sure who you're referring to there. But yeah, Bernie's a quitter anyway, says Bam. Oh, he must be referring to Bernie. Yeah, moving. Dave, you are a Texan, says JR for the third. I really would love to visit Texas. And yeah, I've got a lot of love for them. I do love that independent mentality. And Texas itself has a unique culture, just like Alberta. Alberta is the Texas of Canada. They've got their own unique culture. And I feel that they should be able to protect that culture. I don't think it's safe for me to go to America until after the election, but I would eventually love to make my way down to Texas. I mean, first of all, Texas barbecue, hell yeah. All the beautiful firearms, hell yeah. And those lovely blue-eyed, blonde-haired Texas ladies, delicious. So yeah, let's torture ourselves a bit listening to the great politician known as Joe Cronin. I'm going to jump around on this because I do find it somewhat difficult. But again, I am a masochist, so I'm willing to endure a lot of stupidity. I got a high pain tolerance, but all right. Let's get. That's my song, by the way. Let's see what happens now. How badly I affect my internet connection.
Single is going to come out.
Before I let this continue, what a massive amount of fucking retards in the chat. And again, the rhetoric that Joe has been pushing out is fucking, again, so retarded. It's influenced these people into believing the bullshit that he believes, whether it be that Bernie was such a great guy or that Trump was such a bad man, or that Obama was so great. Just it's this sort of rhetoric that you see. He's influenced people that are even dumber than him, and now they believe this fucking shit. But, you know, Joe Cronin's admitted he doesn't like to read books. He can't, he says. Blames it on his supposed ADHD, ADD, which doesn't exist. That's misdiagnosed by the pharmaceutical industry to basically sell more drugs. Okay? Okay. Those are good people over here, except for the apartment boarder jumpers, got to be on guard around them. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. The Tex-Mex culture is, again, it's unique to Texas. It's that has created this Texas identity. And again, the Latinos that I've spoken to that are from Texas, they don't see themselves as anything but Texans. So again, that's a unique aspect of Texan culture. Asian says Danny retarded. Now it says it's reconnected. Great. Spartan says that the Mexicans get mad at him when they find out he's not Mexican. Apparently he's Greek. Ah. Grecian. You guys have good beards. All right, let's just continue with this. I'm having fun here. Well, sort of. In a very masochistic way, but whatever. Let's continue. Also, you know what? Fuck it. Skype line's open if anyone wants to call in. We'll see if the internet holds up. All right, let's fast forward. This is bullshit. Let's get to that rhetoric, that divisive rhetoric that Joe is so good at. Maybe let's let it load a bit. This internet company, I'm gonna wreck them. Let's see. Maybe it will load. Hello, today? Jeez Louise. YR plans to stream. Joe Biden officially steps down as president. No, he doesn't. Idiot. Change your fucking title, you moron. He's not stepping down as president. He's not seeking re-election. He's going to live out the rest of his term and not seek the re-election. So change your title, moron. Let's see. Is the fucking stream responding again? Well, at least it's responding better than my fucking wrestling podcast. Fuck. All right, let's continue here.
Luis Alejandro, great to hear from you, bro. What's been up? And Coopsy DePhil, it gazed his ear. Yeah, pretty sure it gazed his ear. Let me go back because there's earlier videos, right?
Well, that is true, Spartan King. Everyone loves drama, and everyone loves the acclaimed as well. Scissor me, daddy. But yes, it's comical. People are saying, "Oh, this community's dead. Drama's dead." But no, drama never dies. It's like a golem, actually. Doing this because of the drama. The drama just comes with the territory. I'm talking fucking about what happened last week, which is a very serious thing. And I'm talking about the dumb fucking takes, the idiotic rhetoric that came with it. So, and that obviously has drama following it as well. Because it seems to be few and far between people who are willing to call out this absolute bullshit. And again, I take issue when people straight up lie or misinform people when it comes to their Second Amendment right.
There's earlier ones. We have all kinds of videos from this. Possible shots fired at Trump rally. Trump rushed away by Secret Service. Secret Service, an incident occurred.
Bam, I don't know if he sells them. I know he buys those dildos, but he doesn't. I think he's got a whole wall of dildos. It's like a dildo museum.
On July 13th at the Trump rally in Pennsylvania.
Speaking of YR, I haven't said this in a long time, actually, but, people in this community also have a short memory span. I have the greatest memory span. You guys remember that time where YR got that girl pregnant, and when she asked if he wanted to be involved in their lives, he said no. So now there's a little YR out there being unsupported by its father. Yeah. Pepper Charles remembers.
Fucking Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation and further information will be released.
Funny, it took a week for at least one resignation to be coming. Usually when people are serious about their jobs, they would have instantly recognized that due to their supposed negligence or incompetence, they would have resigned, saying, I clearly was not capable of doing my job, honoring my oath, and therefore I've got to go. So why did it take so long?
Oh, they weren't. The reason why the pictures are so bad is because it looks like the only shot that they had was like a live wide shot like this. Shit bomb.
Again, more fucking speculation. Baseless speculation.
So that's why.
I'm calling it now. That fist pump will be on all his merch now.
Yes, it will
That was a good call. It's fucking everywhere now.
be. Yes, it will be. Yes, it will be. He's been, dude. He's been jailed. He's been shot. He's been convicted. I mean, bro, like, what else can you do to somebody here? I mean, he's not been raped yet. When does he get raped? That's next.
What's this guy's obsession with fucking rape?
Smart idea by Trump, man. Getting down there was so important because if they
The Secret Service trains all presidents and all politicians to do that. Oh, that was smart. No, that's part of the training.
were trying to shoot in that position and they just missed him and they grazed his ear and then they shot a few other rounds. Shit bomb. Wow, good thing he moved.
This was not just some random guy. This was from a sniper. The only thing that saved Trump was the wind.
Right?
Someone.
No. That's also, again, somebody who doesn't know about ballistics talking out their fucking ass. If you take a look, if you actually start to examine this stuff, ballistic forensics, understand physics, which I personally love, it's very, very difficult to argue against divine intervention. Extremely difficult. And I'm a numbers guy, I'm a math guy. But you can't deny that if you've got a sensible mind on your shoulders. In your head, on your shoulders. There we go. But just, again, this is the stupid shit that further perpetuates ignorance and retardation.
Or something paid someone to JFK him.
Right. And where were they? How far away were they? Were they on this water tower up here? Copesy DePhil, thank you.
It's interesting that he does bring up the water tower because there is footage coming out now over the last few days that clearly indicates something was up there. Was it a person? Looks possible. And truth be told, you don't set up operations like this without at least multiple shooters. Same thing happened with JFK. Multiple shooters. The FBI, this came out in the FBI documents, which Trump didn't fully release. Another fail from him. But he did come out and say if people knew what he saw, they'd be scared shitless. Well, those of us know who was behind that. But again, you don't carry something out like this, especially when you want the patsy dead, which they accomplished, and not have several backups in place, which again brings us back to divine intervention. Okay. Video footage coming out of multiple shots being made, and that, again, you've got people in the audience that were shot. You had portions of the stage, portions of the bleachers that were hit by fire. So, again, if you're planning to do an operation like this, just look at the CIA's playbook, and you'll understand that you're going to have a team trying to accomplish the one goal, but you're always going to have the patsy that's going to take the fall and say, well, he's dead now. So we've got no supposed shooter who is dead now. That looks identical to YR. They initially said he had no digital footprint on the internet. Very interesting. That was a lie. came out that he was on Discord chats, and they, pivot to the discussion of video games causing these sorts of things. Again, total fallacy. And then it comes out that he had 3 overseas bank accounts. It just gives...
Thank you so much for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Were they on, like where in this back area could they have been shooting from, or far left maybe? We can't see to the left. Phil, thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Yo, I say, you know what everybody should do is put American flags out front of their house now. Like...
Again, this sort of rhetoric, this bullshit, well, yeah, this happened, but let's all show unity and American flags. So disingenuous.
It was like 9/11. Just throw the American flags outside at this point. Maybe the guy was on top of this water tower back here. You know what I mean? But you would have thought they would have covered that or seen the guy if that's where he was.
Well, it came out that in that site for several weeks prior, and they knew all the top spots and the high grounds that were going to have full access to where Trump was speaking. And they chose not to put their people on there.
In the trees would be...
Jeffrey III says they meant to kill him that day. People died and nobody ran. That wasn't a photo op for Trump. That was a moment. That was in a moment reaction. That's a G shit. Bam says he uses them more than he sells them. Oh no, he's talking about wire. JC's still retarded, I hear. Well, yeah, I hear that too. Again, I had to tune in just because I was curious what kind of bullshit he was talking about. And again, just the bad takes this past week, especially last Saturday, just fucking hurts my head. It really hurts my head to know that such stupid people exist. And again, I take issue when somebody who's ignorant on firearms starts talking about firearms. People talking about the size of a 5.56 round, ignoring the fact that the cartridge is separate from the bullet. So the combined round of ammunition, on what you compare it to, the bullet that shoots out of the cartridge is not as the same size as that. You stupid fucks. Let's continue.
Would be better. In the trees somewhere. Hiding up in the trees, in the pond.
Supposedly, it also comes out that Crooks was also flying a drone over the site. Makes you question, where did he get the money from for that? Supposedly, he stole the rifle, a DPMS rifle, AR derivative, from his father. That's questionable, from that narrative. But again, who is financing this guy? Who is providing this? Some nobody is messaging me on Skype. Again, I don't know who this is. They just messaged, "Hi." Oh, it's Mustafa. Okay, not a nobody. Let's accept this. Let's see what he has to say. Maybe he's making a different count. Maybe somebody is imitating him. What the fuck? My internet being stupid again. Shout out to the Ghost from the Coast in the chat. He says, J.R. Ford, still retarded for having an opinion, dumb fuck. No, he's retarded for saying things that aren't valid. Apparently he's trying to call in. Let's give him a call, see what he has to say. See if the internet holds up. Again, the issue is ignorance and rhetoric. And pushing things that are false, especially when it comes to firearms, is something that I personally take issue with, as well as many other people do. All right, the one and only Rostafa. Hello.
Yo.
How you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Barely. Could be my internet connection.
Can you hear me? Can you hear?
Yes, sir.
Do I have a bad connection? I don't know. Tell
It's,
me.
it's probably my connection, but we hear you.
Crap.
We hear you, brother.
I'm down to the beach. No wonder. I'm in Belmar, New Jersey, home of the Jersey Shore.
Ooh. Be sure to take a bath before you leave.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'll definitely take a shower and maybe I'll go in the hot tub.
There you go. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Dude, it's nice and sunny out here. Actually, I saw Bully Ray out of all people for a little while. Just met up with him for a bit and just hung out.
In real life, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. How's it up there in Canada? How's the weather up there?
Hot as fuck. Close to 90 Fahrenheit, or freedom units, as we call them.
Really?
Yes, sir. Unfortunately, I could only keep my
man.
wrestling podcast going for 20 minutes because the internet was just shitting on me. I guess I didn't like wrestling talk, but apparently it's holding up somewhat for my political talk, so that's not too bad.
Oh, so you're not on the air right now?
No, I am on the air. It's just that I moved on to a
You are on the air.
not so chill Hangout stream where people have been on a week with Trump and so forth, and what's developed this week, including today with Biden saying that he won't seek the re-election, and I wanted to talk about it. But you are on air live.
Yeah, I mean, goddamn. You can tell by the birds, But yeah, no, dude, I've it's funny. I literally have not been watching TV for the past couple weeks.
Good, that's a very healthy thing. TV is fucking terrible.
Pay-per-view. Yeah, but no matter what country you're in, actually.
Indeed.
But I basically I've been mainly watching like the PLEs and the pay-per-views. I had an anniversary last night. The card was actually not that bad, especially in the later half.
Do you believe in Joe Henry? Joe Henry,
the
because
tag was great.
Apparently Josh Alexander and TNA do not.
Oh, I believe in Joe Henry. Do you believe in Joe Henry?
I believe in the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Joe is. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. My internet sucks.
Oh, yeah, we just have like a 10-second delay. For those of you that are listening on YouTube or whatever, we got like a 10-second delay on this here deal. Like, we don't forget I had to get a Discord going or something like that one day because Skype I barely ever use. But
you can always reach me on Discord. We are friends on all that. So if that's a better connection, I'm more than willing to take it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. Let me hit you up on Discord.
All right, hit me up. All right, we're going to terminate that call, and maybe that'll be a better connection. I don't know why the internet keeps fucking around. It produces, and then it tells me it's good again. Great stuff. A little conversation going on between Ghost from the Coast and Jerifor the Third in the chat there. I'll let you guys continue to resolve that. Oh, there we go. Rostafa is communicating with me. Let's see if we can establish a call here. There we go. He's calling in. Hopefully this is better than Skype. Hello, good sir. Supposedly the call is working. Hello? Hello, sir. Hello, sir. How are you? I am from India. No? Yes.
Testicles 1, 2. Testicles 1, 2.
There you go. You're coming in. What's up? Oof. Well,
I can hear you.
I hear you too, but it still seems like we got a delay.
That's okay. No worries. No worries. We'll take our time. I'll try to be as slow talking as possible.
No, well, you're
just
coming
so
in
that you
sounding
can
fine,
hear and
but
the humanoids can hear on YouTube. Okay. Well, but yeah, no, I saw Slammiversary last night, and yeah, like I said, I love the second half of the show. PCO got a really good ovation coming out because he's from Montreal. Proposed, got that whole deal done. And yeah, man, I mean the six man tag. I'm sorry, not the 6-man elimination match. I thought was pretty solid. Really build up Joe Hendry as far as getting a pin over the world heavyweight champion, even though he didn't walk out with the strap. I thought that was actually really good booking, and it only just elevates his stock even further because personally, he doesn't need the belt right now. I don't feel. I think the fans really still want him to, and he's also getting seen on WWE and NXT. So I mean, it's just good for him, good for Joe Hendry, and also good for what's his face that just won the belt, Nick Nemeth, aka Dolph Ziggler.
yeah, good on that guy. He needs more accolades, and he clearly deserves them.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Nick, I was there in the arena when he won the World Heavyweight title from Alberto Del Rio, and that place popped. And again, this was a little bit of a different situation because it wasn't a one-on-one thing, and because he had already done that. And he also didn't pin Moose, who was the defending champion at the time. So that creates a little bit of some buzz. So there's all these intricate stories that you just made in one match, which from a TNA point of view, because they've actually been on fire for the past number of months. And kudos to them, man. I mean,
yeah, but it took them 10 years to get the
with NXT. It's becoming really, really apparent.
It took them 10 years to get to this point, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I don't think that agreement with that partnership with the WWE is really benefiting them as it should.
I mean, like, dude, Scott D'Amore pretty much. Yeah. 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 And again, we apologize for folks for the 10-second delay, but yeah, no, I think it was really like 9 years with the fact that Scott D'Amore was really setting the table for those couple years. Various other veterans were coming in to helping the talent out. The pandemic kind of helped in a way because they were able to think outside the box and come up with these cinematic matches. Same thing like what the Hardys did previously. So yeah, no, they're on the come up, man. And again, I just wish that they had a better in a lot of ways a better TV deal that was more than just like what's going on Access, because I've actually lost Access because I'm a Verizon carrier. And also, I wish they had a bigger audience and a bigger budget, but that might come down the line. Who knows? But as of right now, TNA is pretty much just a farming system for the major companies, really.
For WWE, maybe. I mean, I know for a fact that when they partnered with AEW, they sent their fucking champion, fucking Kenny Omega, over there, the belt collector, and they even brought in the Young Bucks. But who they sent from TNA over to AEW didn't benefit AEW and gave them great stuff. So,
well, there are a few people. There are a few people, like I can't remember the woman's name, but she has like this sort of kind of Halloween gimmick, kind of like kabuki type of stuff. She's I can't remember her name, but she is over there in AEW. I think there's like some talent that was in TNA for like a cup of coffee and then kind of went through AEW and then are apparently not there anymore. But there's like very few people that have actually got television time. But yeah, no, WWE is definitely benefiting all the rewards. I mean, with Jordan Grace, Mickie James made an appearance in the Royal Rumble not too long ago as well. And yeah, there's just a lot of talent that are potential for, national exposure. And again, Joe Hendry, who would have thought? You get a theme song over, you do all these little musical antics, you get that over, you're apparently made. So kudos to him.
Yeah, we'll see.
And he's Scottish, so why not?
How that works out.
Absolutely, absolutely. But nonetheless, man, yeah, I'm just enjoying the day. Hopefully, it doesn't rain on me because we're getting some clouds from the east. Actually, no, I take that back. We're actually getting clouds from the west. But hopefully, I stay dry and everything. But dude, just wanted to say hello to you. It's been a minute. I've been meaning to talk to you for a bit. But yo, dude, just want you to say, just keep dry and keep cool and all that jazz, and make sure you smoke that skunk every once in a while.
Well, I just packed a bowl, so that's the plan. Do appreciate that. I appreciate your call. Always great to talk to you, and hopefully next time you call in, I'll have a proper working internet connection.
Yes. What's the main carrier that you have over there, by the way, that could actually give you a hookup, maybe even give you a better connection?
We have a duopoly, so either way, I'd be somewhat fucked. But again,
Got it.
I'm going to work it out. Somehow this is going to get better.
It's okay. You will. You know what? It'll happen. All right, bro. I'll catch you later. See you on the flip side, okay?
Enjoy your Sunday.
All right, bro. God bless. Peace.
All right, there goes the one and only Rostaffa. Be sure to check him out on Busted Open podcast with Bully Ray. All right, back to the politics. I know that JR for the third, not too keen on the wrestling talk, but yeah, let's get back to this here.
Lines. I don't know if they shot the guy or they got him or what. That's I mean, that's a gun.
It's a firearm, yes. A gun. Oh, that sounds like a 22. No, it doesn't sound like a 22. If you understand basic acoustics, you would understand that that is not a 22.
Wow. You can hear the Secret Service right there. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like they're talking to each other.
Exactly. That's also another point that many have raised is confused as to what to do.
Then they made the weirdest thing is they got up and Trump fist bumped.
That's not weird at all. The guy just got shot at and he's telling people that he's unaffected and he's going to fight. And they should also fight as well. Again, anyone with just basic common sense can hear that there's echo there. But no, it's a 22 long rifle round.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro. Right after Drama Alert endorsed him, too.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months.
I know he's going to mention Bernie at some point soon. It was about the 20-minute, again, by 30 minutes, I believe it was, that I just said this was just too much, but...
Old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Wow. He's so... Oh, my God, dude. They just missed him. They just missed him. Listen to the shots and how long they took to get there. Listen to this really quickly. I want to listen to this.
A couple of months old. And
acoustic forensics expert Joe Cronin speaks.
If you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Wow, look at that. Okay, so hold on. The reaction.
Something that said, take a look at what happened.
While I wait for this to load, yes, that photo is iconic. Is certainly going to win a Pulitzer because it's probably going to be on the cover of Time magazine at some point in the future. Well, yeah, Spartan King, a lot of adrenaline going on there.
The sleep state. That's what it should be called.
Great stuff. Hopefully this will continue to load. And so far, I mean, it's better than my wrestling podcast.
They're saying one person in the crowd is dead. So like an innocent bystander is in the crowd and dead. That's what I was worried about because those shots.
And then somebody. So in Joe Cronin's chat, that's what they're saying.
Those shots had to go.
Yeah, Bullseye, I don't understand the points that he's making either, but
Go somewhere. They got to hit somebody, you would think.
the bigger issue is that he's influencing people with just terrible, terrible takes.
No? Wow. Yo. I mean,
Break it down.
we've also got Sean's Views racist rant. I uploaded that on my corrupted channel. Richard Simmons died today. That just happened too, but no one's ever going to remember Richard Simmons died. This is going to be a Mandela.
Of course, this guy is interested in the fruit that died as opposed to pertinent things like presidential assassination.
Effect. In like 2 years, people are going to be like, Richard Simmons is dead? I thought he was alive. It's the Mandela effect. No, it's going to be, he died right as Donald Trump someone was attempting to kill Donald Trump. This is the craziest thing right here where Trump is like, forget it. Yeah. Wait. Before we...
Let me just fast forward. It's challenging.
Trump ruined it. Bernie Sanders almost...
Here it is. So it's 29 minutes, 22 seconds. So it's somewhat close.
Almost ruined it, and they got rid of Bernie. They got rid of Bernie real easy.
This guy's obsession with Bernie is just fucking pathetic. Didn't even do the research necessary. Just same with Obama. Did you not read what this guy was writing prior to even getting into politics? Either of them, for that matter? Did you not know where they stand? What kind of platform they were pushing? Clearly not. And again, pushing the Bernie thing after so many years. Did you not expect that of Hillary Clinton? And more importantly, and the most importantly, is that you fell for the fucking psyop of fucking, the poor grandpa. Why the fuck do you want somebody his age fucking running for politics? When then you'll get something like Biden, where it's like, I pooped my pants. They wiped my ass. Those are two things he did say, actually. They caught it on camera. So, why? But again, because people are so easily manipulated because they've got a malleable mind. Oh, he looks like a poor old grandpa. I've got to support him, and he says all these things that I just want to hear. It's so fucking sad.
All right? So,
in fact, I would say it's criminal, to be quite honest. To push this sort of fucking bullshit, you're influencing other people with bad takes, it should be criminal.
That's why, I don't buy the other side and why I know what's up. Because I know what's going on as far as that goes. I know that the big government, the deep state, and all that stuff, all the big pharmaceutical...
Remember, this is the guy, he's talking about pharmaceuticals now, but this is the guy, amongst others, that laughed me down on his show when I said the simple truth. Cannabis cures cancer. Maybe it's more socially accepted now, but guess what? I'm not a monster. I'm ahead of the curve. And I was saying that back in 2014. So, look how far we've gotten. And how somebody like me, who has character, who has conviction, who sticks to their conviction, after all this time, 10 years, actually 10 years this October that I got involved in the Joe Cronin community, that I get proven correct yet again. Okay? I don't call myself the most intelligent man in this community for nothing. Let's continue.
Pharmaceuticals and the big companies, Jeb Bush, those type of people, they back all those people. And the Mitt Romneys and stuff like that. They don't back Trump. They'll play ball with Bernie a little bit because Bernie will play ball with them. But
Bernie. Fuck. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. He was all, again, he fucking went to, he went on his honeymoon to fucking Soviet Russia. It was during the time that the communists still ran fucking Russia. And he went there to celebrate his honeymoon. If that doesn't tell you something about someone's character, nothing, well, no amount of thinking straight there, Joe.
Won't play ball with them lots of times, and so they couldn't have burn.
Or maybe it's all theatrics and a fucking show. You control both sides, and you select, and you play it out. Politics isn't that difficult. You know what? In fact, I'll go as far as, well, even further. I'll say this. I put it in my fucking Twitter bio. I said, I like pro wrestling and politics, and both are scripted. Come on. If you're dumb enough, maybe dumb enough to believe the kayfabe, but again, if you watch professional wrestling, you know what it is, okay? It's fake fighting. It's fun. Well, again, I don't know about the sports entertainment stuff, but I can tell you about pro wrestling. It's fun stuff, regardless if it's fake fighting, okay? You're seeing athleticism, and you're actually having a story told to you as well. But the same goes with politics. I already discussed this. You've got people who belong to the uni party. Doesn't matter if their registration says Democrat or Republican. They're dining at all the fucking high-end establishments, okay? They're getting kickbacks from all these different organizations. So, again, a company like Boeing, they're going to donate millions of dollars to the Democrats and the Republicans. They're playing both sides. That's how it works, okay? It's all a fucking show. It's all scripted. And they make you believe because they argue in front of the cameras and inside of the Senate or the Congress, oh, we're against it. No, they're not. No, they're not. Wake the fuck up, people.
Bernie there because he wouldn't be fully cooperative.
He certainly was cooperative when Hillary Clinton basically said, look, you're going to pull out or your wife and your family are going to feel affected by it. And that's how you get Arkansided, you know. That's the term that's used because Clintons are from Arkansas, and the body trail that follows them is massive. Nobody has that many personal friends that commit suicide. Okay, so he was given two options, live or die. And Bernie Sanders, because he's a parasite, decided to live. Let's continue.
Because he's a nice guy for the most part, but he's still not great either. But still, like, because he's a lifetime guy too, and people weasel their way in. But dude,
I don't even know what he just said.
Oh my God, bro! Trump is their worst nightmare. You knew this was happening because he's their worst nightmare. He just is. It doesn't even matter if it was somebody.
Why? See, the key thing is you should be saying why he's their worst nightmare, because he's bringing in outsider thinking, which basically is, was common 100 years ago. But you hold politicians accountable, and there's severe penalties for breaking oaths. This is logical stuff. It's so funny how nowadays there's so many people that, oh, well, it's just the way it is. I'm just going to be apathetic and complacent. No, the system was at least initially set up to give you the ability to hold your politicians accountable. And in fact, the American Constitution actually says that if you start to be ruled by tyrannical forces, you don't just have a overthrow it. It's in your political documents. Can't be called out for misinformation on that. Well, then again, YouTube will just do whatever it fucking wants, but
somebody else, not Trump, right? If it was someone else, like Bill Jones, like say I ran for president and I was running for president and I was running and I was getting popular, I would be their worst nightmare because I'm not playing ball with all their bullshit. It doesn't matter too. It could be a left-wing person. It could be you.
That's adorable. That's adorable. How it could be a left-wing person. No. Your history speaks for itself there, Joe. You're totally willing to excuse people on the left and then be critical of people on the right, when in fact it should not be based on party, but based on actions. Deeds speak.
You could be running and you could be very left-wing or whatever. It doesn't matter if you're not in their club and you're not going to do the things they need to be done. They're going to try to get rid of you. Now, it's much easier to get rid of a lot of people and most people. I mean, look how easy it was to get rid of Bernie, and he's a fucking lifetime fucking politician person.
A politician person. You mean a politician?
Let's play Haskell's other
See,
donation.
this is why I'm bringing this up, is because people like this are influencing other people. If I'm not going to say in my world he would have a right to hold these opinions, but in the world that we live in, he technically does have the right to hold these opinions. Conviction, consciousness, conscientiousness, okay? Sentience. Now, does he have the right to basically influence other people with what is essentially misinformation? Or, I wouldn't call them lies, it's untruths, is what they are. Convenient untruths. You don't mention, sort of pushes your narrative. No, you don't have the right to do that. Again, look it up in the legalese. But you have the right to hold those opinions, okay? Freedom of thought, freedom of conscience. But to actually say these things and influence other people that could, again, take it as fact when it's not, who then in turn take action against misperceived crimes or actions against them, no. But let's continue.
I think he said he had another one. I paused them. Good point, though, Haskell, and I did bring it up, and I agree with you that's on the table for discussion, no doubt about it. I think that someone tried to kill him, and, most likely, potentially, it could just be a crazy random. It's usually a crazy random person, but it also could be a planned out paid event.
A crazy random person. Why not just say that it would be certainly somebody who is anti-Republican, anti-Trump, a Democrat? We've seen this so many times since he got, actually even before. Prior to 2016, there were at least 2 attempts on his life that I remember. And then throughout his presidency, there was multiple. There was one time where Air Force One had to take evasive action because of a missile. That's the missile that they sort of changed the media, who became aware of it, changed the narrative. That was the missile that was going to Hawaii, right? That they said it was real, take cover, blah, blah, blah. And then they said, oh, no, it was just somebody made a mistake and sent out the wrong message. That's total fucking lie. Total fucking lie. They shot that missile down, but it was aimed towards Air Force One. There was the time where his motorcade's coming and a car that is going towards a dead-end street that's facing the highway that Trump's motorcade is passing, and there's like a little sort of ditch. It was a slight ditch, but it wasn't deep. This thing just went right off the end of the road, and right onto the highway, and couldn't, past the ditch and sort of onto the highway, but couldn't really reach the proper area to either hit any of the cars in the motorcade or hit the Trump car, which is apparently the intention, not apparently, but what was the intention of the whole thing. There was that Democrat, again, a Democrat that actually got into one of his rallies and attempted to rush him. Yeah, there's been, those are the 3 I can think of at my top of my head, but I do remember there was many more. It was more than 10 that I remember going through a list and reading through. So, let's just be honest here. Shout out to Butterfly in the chat. Darth Bullseye says, I think someone tried to kill him. Wow, Joe is spitting facts here. Yeah, bro, for real.
And I wouldn't be surprised because look at how Biden has looked the last.
I wouldn't be surprised. See, this is disingenuous. After 8 years, not just during Trump's, the amount of rhetoric that, especially the media, that they've been pushing out, they've called him Hitler. They've literally called him a literal Hitler. What do you think this is going to do to people, especially stupid people with malleable minds? What do you think it's going to do? It's going, you've got forums, just millions of posts, really, over the last 8 years that are saying someone needs to kill Trump. Someone needs to, do this. Someone needs to take these actions. This needs to happen, blah, blah, blah. Always pushing for not just dehumanizing Trump, but actually taking action and physically stopping him. And more often than not, that is assassination that these people have been pushing. See, this disgusts me because it muddies the water and poisons the well of this discussion. Well, I don't know how that happened. You know damn well how that fucking happened. You've pushed that shit as well. See, this is what you got to think about, people. You really have to think about this sort of thing when it comes to whoever's talking, not just people on the internet, like politicians, fucking news sources. It's what they say, and especially when they write an article that has a flashy headline, but you dig deep into the article, and second last paragraph actually has the truth. It's the total opposite of the fucking headline. It literally is, and we've seen countless occasions of this as well. But most people are scrolling through their phones or something. They just read the headline. That's what they take in. Sound bites, for example, on TV shows like The View. That's all that these people take in. They think they're informed, but they're not. And again, it's something flashy. It's something quick. They remember that, but they never bothered to read through the article. Remember, Joe Cronin hates reading. And literally, these articles are actually, it's part of also their black magic. They believe it. But you're telling people what you're going to do. You're telling people the truth obfuscated in a lie. So basically, eventually, you finish the article, and there's the truth. It's the total opposite, but they use a lot of drivel and stuff, knowing how people will react. They'll only read the first paragraph and the headline. That's it, and then they move on. How? And then and to claim that you're not aware, that you're ignorant of how this could happen, it's really disingenuous because you've been part of it.
Last couple of months, and they finally realized, so I don't know, and Biden won't back out. So I don't know, something weird's up. And if this were to happen to Biden, if this was happening to Biden, people would be losing it. That the right wing and the guns and they're trying to kill, like they would be losing it. Think of all the people that are shot and killed. John Lennon, JFK, right? Like go through the people that made a difference. The people that...
Hold on, but John Lennon was killed by a deranged psycho, okay, as in a former fan and so forth. Fixated on John Lennon. JFK threatened to destabilize the establishment. One of many things was he said that he was going to shatter the CIA into 1,000 pieces, especially after the bullshit they caused with the Bay of Pigs fiasco. He threatened to cut off Israel funding, to not provide them with information on how to upgrade their nukes. He wanted to actually stop the Apollo Mu program, combine it with a Russian program so that in the sense of peace, world peace, that instead of wasting resources, each country wasting resources on its own to get somebody to the moon, that they could combine the peace for the world to show that, we don't want war. We don't want nuclear annihilation. And then we're willing to do something as special as go to the moon, which you know my opinion on. And today apparently is the 55th anniversary of that supposed happening. But again, the whole idea was basically to work with people that people on your side were belligerent in trying to push forward a nuclear war. And that's certainly what they've done in the past. They've tried to push nuclear war on both sides. And you've had politicians like Kennedy who didn't want that. I think I don't know if it's ignorance or stupidity comparing those two people because their motivations are totally different.
Were shot. Ronald Reagan, towards the end, Ronald Reagan gave the country away to the banks because Ronald Reagan's brain stopped working, and they go look it up, man. They
also attempted to assassinate that guy, and literally that was a threat saying you're going to push in our policies, or next time it's going to work. And also they did benefit from the dementia that kicked in his second term. So they were basically, just like, in quotations, Joe Biden, they were leading him on. They were leading him through approving their policies.
Weaseled their way into Ronald Reagan, and he gave the banks away to from this country. It was unbelievable.
No, that was Woodrow Wilson who did that when he signed the Federal Reserve Act, in which they did on Christmas day, I believe. And they had planned that, again, it's all scripted. They had planned that people were not going to be there to be able to read over the bill and approve it, and they got it through. And since that point on, 1913, Americans have had to pay income tax. When done, they'd established an economy that was surpassing just America, surpassing that of the United Kingdom's empire, worldwide empire. Railways, things like light bulbs, industrialization machines that allowed for America to reach prominence and strength that was, again, was incredible, even at that point. But the international bankers came in, worked with Woodrow Wilson, and 1913, you've got that act pushed through with barely anyone there because they knew they could do it. Let's continue.
But dude, look it up. But who are the establishment people? Bush, Clinton, Bush Jr. How come no one really tried to do anything to them? A guy once threw his shoe at Bush. That was about it, right?
That was
and nobody cares.
Also, it's
seemingly
a
they don't
sign
remember
of
it.
Big disrespect.
But good point.
In Arabic cultures is to do that. That's kind of interesting. My viewers just dropped. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Unless somebody else is going live. Oh, looks like Ken might be going live. It says 5 p.m. He says he's going live. It's 5:10. I'm sure he's going live soon. Joe Biden out, Kamala Harris in. As soon as he goes live, people are going to jump over there, which is perfectly fine. That's just how it works. But these sort of things, I think, again, I'm airing the show because I think there's important things to discuss. And there's some people, at least out there in this community, that do think for themselves, have critical thinking skills, and don't need to be told what to believe. They can figure it out themselves. They just need access to the information, untainted, as opposed with pure bias. Because that's what we're hearing here with Joe, is that it's tainted with such pure bias. It's just dripping with it. And again, I don't like that. I like the truth being told. Do I have my biases? Absolutely. But I also provide the opportunity to see alternate points of view. And also, I'm very critical of everything, including my biases. And I'm also aware of them. So you're going to get much more genuine talk from me, much more factual talk from me than you would from Joe. And it just bothers me that somebody who has the capability to think for themselves doesn't want to do it probably because maybe it hurts people's feelings. Inconvenient truth, as they call it. As opposed to a convenient lie. We have to face reality. It's ugly out there, and you gotta be able to accept the fact that unless we have the courage to actually discuss these things, regardless of the repercussions, that we're never going to get anywhere. It's always going to be the same bullshit that people are pushing. Why do liberals hate tax cuts? It looks like OBS disconnected me, probably due to this terrible impression. But regardless, just be sure to take the shot. Don't touch my comb over, but take the shot, make it in the ear, make it clean, and make it look like it was real. This is the mentality that some people have. Again, think of the odds, though. That's the thing, though. Maybe it's the math that's just not adding up for some people. But if you really start to dig deep, if you start to do the numbers yourself, okay, that's the big thing, doing the numbers yourself. Okay, maybe you're not big into math, but if you're not willing to actually, maybe you don't have the understanding for math. And I'm just being general here. I don't know if you do or don't. But I can understand, at least I can perceive, okay, somebody who's not familiar with math, somebody who's not so either trained or, just rusty on the math. When was the last time you did some complex calculation? I can understand that but even so, if you go through that process, you start to see that you start to see impossibilities. You start to see certain scenarios that being not possible because it just mathematically cannot work. Okay, and I'm now to think of it, because again, these sorts of topics I do like to discuss. Maybe I'll provide a forensic analysis. I mean, you've got all these other people doing this on the internet. I don't know why I've got to be the guy to do it. Because, you can learn this stuff yourself too. You can also run the numbers yourself. But, and you can, again, you see something, don't just believe it. Okay, just because I see something on the internet, I don't just believe it. I go through the mathematics that they're saying. Okay, well, X amount of feet from the stage, angled at this, wind in this direction on this time, date. If you're willing to go through that effort, you can start to immediately dispel certain statements because the math just is not possible. Let's continue.
It's definitely weird that he was like, oh, we got to get out of here, sir. Everyone, come on. We're in the line of fire. Hold on. Get away from me. Yeah. I mean, it was right out of it was right out of a movie where like the evil
the evil politician guy. Again, it sounds like he's speaking to 5-year-olds. And again, the influence that he's having clearly has people, and you can just go, I mean, fuck it. I'll put you're good. Promoting Joe Cronin here in my actual chat. There's his link to his video. Check it out yourself. I'm at 33 minutes and 4 seconds, but 7 hours, 32 minutes. Check it out yourself. Okay, you don't have to take my word for it. But these sorts of things I think are important because of the fact, not because he's saying them, but the influence that he carries with that. That's a because we've seen multiple times Joe acquiesce or straight up play up to certain interests and pushing for beliefs that essentially will only inevitably lead to violence. Political, racial, otherwise. We've seen that.
Attacks him, and then he goes, no, get the fuck away from me. Like, we got to get you to safety, sure. Shut the fuck up, you're fired. Yeah. It was just... I'm sorry. It did look funny like that. It didn't look. It looked like he was like, "Fuck this photo opportunity." Like it was very strange. Like that. But everybody acts different when their life is on the line, and not many of us have to deal with that ever in our lives. So we don't really know how we're going to act to something like that potentially. But, that it will be talked about. But it does look to me though. Like, I mean, I'm just going to say what it seems like, that it seems like this was an assassination attempt and somebody tried to kill Trump today.
Gotta give him that. He certainly sounds smarter than fucking most Canadian media people. Fucking, that's for damn sure. Fucking. Here, I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Let's see how long this takes. 'Cause it shouldn't really be taking that long. Simply, jeez. Mea culpa, people. I will somehow pay you back in providing better shows in the future. Because fucking is retarded. But yeah, so Ken is live right now with his take on the whole Biden situation. And I know, as always, that people will flock there and stuff. And yeah, there'll still be people watching here, but maybe they also want to tune in to Ken. I still have some stuff to do. Actually, I have a few loads of laundry to do, actually, now I think. But regardless, I'm perfectly fine continuing. All I'm really doing right now is just reviewing what Joe said. And again, I put the link in the chat. You can go listen to it yourself, really. So you can decide whether or not you want to catch up with his bad takes. But I just really thought it was important to, again, address this. Again, Joe was not the only one who had bad takes this week. And again, I just take issue when people speak poorly of the Second Amendment and perpetuate lies and misinformation and untruths. And again, as somebody who lives in Canada, who is Canadian, you guys don't know how good you have it in regards to that. We don't have the Second Amendment here in Canada. So you really have to appreciate what you have and make damn sure that they never, ever get a chance to take it from you. Because if not, you're going to end up worse than even Canada. Canada is, there's a lot of land, and most populations are close to the U.S. border. But the further away you are, the safer you are, I'd say. And you're perfectly capable of having firearms. Again, say things that would get this video taken down, but at least your way is legal. Let's say that. What else? We got 7 votes. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe 5 people voted no, don't stop, and 2 people voted yes. Okay, so the majority is winning right now. But Ken is live if you guys want to check it out. Don't know what's going on there, but other than the title, which is Biden Biden not seeking nomination for the upcoming election for the presidency of the United States of America. There we go. Don't try to make that into a sound clip because it'll be shit. Anywho, let's get back to Joe's ramblings here.
And somebody in the crowd might be dead because the bullets missed Trump, but they hit somebody. And I don't know. We're going to get more news. Going to play something in a minute.
The whole thing really is tragic, and they're not reporting on the other people that were actually critically injured. Again, wasn't a 22 long rifle round. So, and again, bursting through those fucking railings. Yeah, high caliber. Not from an assault rifle. Okay, those things don't exist. Just from a rifle. Also, something else that really disgusts me is people's attempting to use Marxism to redefine words that have been established for a long time, or concepts, and then just using words to try to impose feelings. So, assault rifle, no. A rifle that's used by the military is a tool, just like one for a civilian. Is one method of that tool offense? Yes. Okay. And it's used in what? An assault. But then in defensive positions, that's defensive. Again, they're trying to really break this down. It's a semantics, which doesn't work. What about somebody who hits somebody with a trash can and it ends up giving them a concussion and or just critically hurting them and they die? Is it an assault can now? Assault trash can? No, assault was the action. Okay, the verb. Okay, you could use an AR-15 to prop a door open. It's a doorstop there. Okay, the action comes from the person utilizing it. Having to even explain this sort of thing again. Disappointing, but necessary
for you. But
I've been going to wrestling shows.
Let's
for
hear
over
part 2 of
30 years.
Haskell.
Never in all that time have I ever felt until last Sunday that my
Haskell, you turn it into
Let's play a donation here.
Alex Jones. Huh? All of a sudden, you conspiracy
at a
guy.
wrestling show.
Happens to get shot at 2 days before the convention. Plus, Trump's a big guy. He was looking forward talking, so his belly and he turns his head to the side.
Again, coming from a person, see, this is what Joe's pushing. This Haskell 420 guy, not too bright. I remember dealing with him back in the day. He certainly didn't like me, which means I was on the right track. This guy has no knowledge of fucking firearms. Why is he talking? Why is he even being allowed to talk?
making the target even smaller, and get hit on the top of his ear.
Well, I mean, first of all, Haskell, I really find it ridiculous that I'm going to tell you,
Shout out to Joe Cronin for providing me with such ridiculous content to show. And again, further expose and remind people that this is just bad. It's just wrong. Getting a Skype call, apparently. Let's see if the internet holds up or if it burns me down altogether. All right, let's see if this works. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to... Now my phone is fucking trying to take the call. No, I'm taking the call here. But it's the one and only, it's Bullseye. We're not going to keep this going if the call can't maintain itself. So, okay, so we'll hope for the best. What's up?
I'll do my best. But I was just kind of listening in, and yeah, the funny thing is that I never actually gave a proper take on it myself because of it was too soon at the moment when it first happened. But then I'm hearing a lot of other people have a take, and they're actually hoping that Trump died, including, and I'm not aware of Joe Cronin ever saying he wanted Trump to die either, though. But there was a lot of liberals that were hoping that
it's nuanced.
Trump just died, and then they were actually praising that the firefighter that, yeah, you think?
Well, when it comes to Joe, yes, the death of Trump or hurting of Trump was certainly nuanced, but it would certainly wasn't condemned in its entirety. But please continue.
Yeah, but the thing is that I don't know if it ever did, but it was, people were already, I mean, you were right about one thing, is that people were already trying to assassinate the guy the first time. I believe it was around 2016 where they rushed him off the stage.
That was that one individual, yes. He,
a
confirmed Democrat,
people tried to
way.
rush him at the stage, or I don't know what happened, but yeah. So either way, as far as that I'm concerned, is that even Destiny was on Twitter saying, yeah, I hope he died. And even went on record and saying, praising the fact that the firefighter died. So
I don't know if my audience is aware of who Destiny is,
and Joe is kind of just not really making much.
Basically, I somewhat aware. I became aware of him from all this shit, and a few things that came prior. But regardless, this guy said some very noxious and straight up illegal things. But I'm not going to discuss him any further on this channel, but you can look it up yourself. You can see all the videos. It's all over fucking X. So, if anyone doesn't know about what the shit he's been pulling, but absolutely disgraceful and disgusting.
Yeah. And the weird thing is about the whole situation is that a bunch of people that were hoping that Trump was assassinated are making weird comparisons to the January 6th riots and and they'll be kind of throw out these cop-outs, all these conservatives in their, let's say, violent ways, because they never really elaborate on them. They want to bring up the Pelosi house break-in and the January 6th riots, saying the conservatives were evil, and Trump putting out this rhetoric and stuff, whatever the rhetoric was, therefore he deserves to be shot. That is basically the gist of all that. And meanwhile, hoping firefighter died from that, celebrating the fact that he was almost assassinated. So there is a bit of hypocrisy on the left side.
A bit?
You see that.
A bit. The entire side is replete with hypocrisy. They are hypocrites through and through, to the subatomic level.
Yeah, well, there's more to go off of that as well. That is a very hypocrisy. Let's start with the fact that the George Floyd killing thus resulted in the BLM riots, killing cops and children, along with Antifa, burning down buildings, looting them, attacking business owners, going all that in the media, including the liberals saying they're peaceful protests. That's happening.
Actual fucking headlines on the ticker on CNN. It's mostly, despite arson, mostly They're literally lying to your face. This is what's called double talk or double speech in 1984. They laid it out for you.
Oh, yeah? You kind of broke out there, so I didn't catch all of it. But just to continue with this, the point is that they've actually endorsed these sorts of actions, and they endorsed all these killings and like glossed over the cops that were killed and children that were killed, basically. And then meanwhile, shaming the police officers. Meanwhile, they were actually like they have a statue of George Floyd. Meanwhile, he's a guy who held a pregnant woman at gunpoint. So seems like liberals celebrate violent people, but then they talk about like the January 6th riots, like how the Conservative Party like stormed the Capitol. But I always love talking about this because all I have to do is bring up Antifa to them, and they just have a throw a fit because they're the ones that led it. They even admitted to it and instigating it. So
well, it's funny that you bring that up, and I'm going to have to
go,
discuss it. But fact is that that Mello on last week's Insomniac went so far as saying that Antifa doesn't exist. Typical fucking Democrat line. Antifa doesn't exist. It's again the line that the Democrats and liberals use. It's just like it's just a manifestation. It's certainly not an organized group and stuff. Meanwhile, Soros is donating to Antifa directly. We have again an organization that has existed in the 30s, and that the German nationalists, aka the Nazis, fought against. Again, in Antifa's sort of manifesto, it was to fight against the fascists. Well, the fascists were those that were created, and I can show the actual definition and so forth that came from actual dictionaries and such before they wanted to sort of again revise things, just like 1984. Is that fascism was created to oppose communism. So, again, the anti-fascist organization has existed since infiltrate Germany, and they tried to bring Bolshevism with them. They were opposed and created this organization called Antifa, and there's photos of rallies, there's videos of rallies, there's still, material, paraphernalia that still exists from the 1930s, flags and pins and so forth that were made by Antifa. and Mello Yellow said, "Oh, this organization doesn't exist. It's just a grassroots sort of thing." But again, this is coming from an organization that has revealed their existence since the 1930s, almost 100 years. Almost 100 years. That's disingenuous,
so
don't
Mello
you think?
thinks Antifa doesn't exist. Yeah, I don't know why he thinks they don't exist. I don't know what made him think that.
Well, because the communist revolution was Jewish, and so is Mello. So it's a harsh truth, people, but that is the truth. Again, another thing is that when the whole Jewish tunnels in Brooklyn came out, I remember hearing him on Insomniac saying, well, don't call them Jewish tunnels. That's very anti-Semitic. There's literal video of a Hasidic Jew coming out of a sewer from those tunnels. There's video of within a fucking synagogue where these tunnels were exposed, and they're bringing out mattresses that are clearly stained with blood. And they said, oh, no, those mattresses don't exist. They certainly don't show what you saw. Mello's response to that was, no, that's just an anti-Semitic statement. It certainly is not based in reality. He's the one who said it, and he's the one who's shown these proclivities to exclusively ignore what is evident. Antifa, we know exists. We know it's a properly funded organization, and he chooses to say that they don't exist.
I'm not sure how to make of that statement. Antifa.
Well, he said
I'm
it.
not- Are you? There's no way to actually make sense of that statement because it doesn't actually.
There
make
is.
sense at all.
There is, though. There is. It's disingenuous.
I
You
don't
know the truth,
What kind
but
of
you
thought process
downplay
does
it
go through your
because
head?
it just wouldn't really be good to dig deep to see who was supporting Antifa financially and what their ethnic connections are. Truth. Could be harsh for people, but it's the truth.
Well, Black Sabbath. I mean, I believe communism is more Satanistic, but then again, Jewish has some
See, but
Satanistic roots themselves as well.
You know
They do
something.
have,
You don't.
like, I don't remember the
Again,
term,
you're onto
they did-
something. You're onto something. It's not fully realized there, but again, the belief of those that do run communism of Satan worship, really. So you're onto something there. It's not as simple as that because there's a lot of information that needs to be discussed. I don't know if I could on YouTube because chances are I'd get canceled entirely. But yeah, something that I certainly suggest everyone research further.
I did a bit of research on Satanism, and I found some links to communism, believe it or not. Communism and Satanists actually have some sort of the same principles when it comes down to it. Like, they believe in equality, which is commie talk. They believe in, like, individuality. They more have a tribalistic, ideal sense of country or self-worth, more so, and believe it or not, I'm not going to go into detail with this, but there were atheists that were communists that did perform satanic rituals during World War II. That'll say that much.
Yep, a lot of things going on when it came to rituals during World War II. But let's see here. What are we at? We're at 2 hours right now. Looks like. I think I did an okay job, at least initially commenting on what occurred in the last week and stuff. The bad takes needed to be called out. Do you have anything else to wrap up the show, or do you have anything of point that you want to mention? Our numbers have dwindled substantially.
Plenty, actually.
But, and I'm sure that people are going to go watch Ken and such. Again, perfectly fine. But, it's been a while since I did a chill hangout.
I do have plenty to add, actually.
All right, well, go ahead.
Yeah, I have something to add. Plenty. I remember Joe saying, sounds like a gun. Well, you don't say. Yeah, that was being fired, not a gun. But let me just talk about a few things. Like, he's like, I think they got the guy. Well, actually, believe it or not, despite what I saw on the media, there's also footage of the Secret Service dragging out 2 bodies. So they got 2 people. Yet they're also saying a kid was the one that shot Trump. And he's well alive. So there's one thing that I think is necessary to point out is that they already got 2 guys, but then they're saying they found the guy that shot him. That's point number 1. And point number 2 is that Kimberly, who is the head of the Secret Service, there was a report that she actually said stand down, even though they got the person in the scope. So they just waited up until the point where Trump was being shot. Now, you can make one or two things. One, either A, this was an inside job and the Democrats definitely did try to assassinate him, or 2, this may or may not have been an attempt for Trump to get sympathy votes. Hey, look, I survived a gunshot. I'm still alive. We don't know for sure. To me, I think the Democrats definitely tried to assassinate him. At the same time, who knows? Either way, I'll leave it at that.
Good points. I look forward to the video that you plan to do. Certainly won't have the internet connections I had. Look into the information a bit further before you, make your stream, because a lot of it continues to come out. A lot of new developments, and again, developments about what happened with that are going to be covered up by the fact that Biden just today is now talking about not going for the nomination. As such, you always know, and it plays out like clockwork, people. You always know that stories are being buried when a big one comes up. One that, again, you would have expected a long time ago. This is, again, theater, political theater. So, and we already knew about what was going on inside the Democrat Party and stuff, the several parties fighting for Joe to stay or not. Again, look at the stories that aren't being talked about. They're still being told, but they're not being talked about. Look at what else is happening right now. So this is, again, this is a cover. It's clear. This is a cover as to what's going on right now. What's going on and be looked at, okay? And it involves the Trump assassination attempt. It involves negotiations with certain political parties. It involves the wars that are going on overseas and such. There's so much more going on with politics. It's a multi-leveled sort of happening. And essentially it's a matrix. And again, keep your eyes open because there's a lot out there. And again, you've got an analytical mind, Bullseye. So again, you'll be able to look at all the different information when it comes to all the potential snipers out there, angles, distances, rhetoric that was going on as well, headlines that were being pushed. You'll be able to dig through that, as will most other people listening. But again, take your time, but do a nice thorough job, as I know you can. And I look forward to whatever other comments you can make, and analysis that you could make on what happened to Trump.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too, because I'm just kind of biding my time and waiting for everything to come out.
Oh, that's a smart move. It's called critical thinking. You're waiting for all the information before you try to do it. Sorry, please continue.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, when it came to Joe Cronin, when I was listening to it, that's just the reality of streamers. They'll jump on the information before they have all the facts. And yet they'll be like, well, this is bad. Well, you don't say this is bad. Why is it bad? Why
and dude, that was only 34 minutes into this fucking thing.
Nobody cares about.
Imagine how much more is out there. Again, I must have quit at some point. Again, it was after the Bernie stuff. Once after the Bernie stuff, it's like, fuck, this is retarded. But yeah, that's just 34 minutes into his thing. I mean, again, I put the link to that video in this chat. Shout out Joe Cronin. Not really, but whatever. Again, giving credit where it's due. That's where you can find it. That's where you can view it. And just 34 minutes in. So if you want to torture yourself anymore tonight, be sure to get the best drugs you can. A very long discussion. Probably, again, 7 more hours after this point where I paused, but 7 more hours of whatever the fuck he's going to talk about when it comes to this. So, and his co-hosts as well, who have always shown themselves since my time to continue to degrade in quality. And that's the truth, people. That's the truth. Joe started good, got better, got great, and then it just went down from there. But don't take my word for it. Go back and watch Joe's decline.
It's so interesting because, when I tuned in and what I heard, first tuned into your show, and the first thing I hear is, man, that sounds like a gun. Oh, my goodness. I wouldn't have been able to tell if Joe hasn't told us. Damn. What's next? I think somebody tried to kill him. Oh, my God. Such great takes, man. Oh, freaking shit. Who's not listening to this guy? You're doing a bad service to yourself. You're not listening to Joe Cronin on this. What else is he going to say?
That's the place to go to get information.
Generates heat like that. Yeah. I don't understand why people like that just jump on the bandwagon and start talking about it.
Because he's over the top and exaggerated. Really so he appeals to people that need, some sort of excitement, I guess. Some, again, outrage culture. That's what it is. It's that, again, liberal, Democrat, Joe, outrage culture. They need to feel like victims. They need to. It's required in them, because if not, you know what the alternative is? Personal accountability and actually working towards making your life better. Not relying on other people to for fucking handouts. That's what it is. Am I saying a lie here?
You know, what would have
you
been a better take
analyze
if I
or
was
break
in Joe's
down
shoes?
what I
Let's
just
say-
said? Because I don't think there's been a more factual statement about Joe and his conduct than that.
I can't say you're wrong, but here's what I would say
can.
if I was in Jeff's shoes. If I ever decided that I'm just going to hop onto this and talk about it,
Mhm.
I wouldn't actually talk about it at all. Just leave it alone. It's not something you should be talking about right now. And honestly, I think it was a big mistake for any streamer or anybody else to start talking about it, because all it did was, like you said, generate the outrage culture.
I'm
They
going to
just
have to
started
disagree with
wishing
you
Trump
there.
bad.
It's not that it's wrong to talk about something that just happened that influences everyone. It is wrong to talk when it comes to not having all the facts and pushing speculation as fact. That's a big issue because, again, if I was airing last week, I would have provided a much more balanced approach to this whole thing. And with my skills in research, I would have be able to back that shit up without, again, coming to a solid conclusion that these people apparently are doing with missing the facts and knowing that they're missing the facts. We want to know what went down, but we also have to wait for information to come out, especially information that is made. Oh, well, we couldn't be on the slope roof. Well, we know that that's fucking wrong. So we wait for that shit to come out before we make an analysis of basically, planning for the operation, logistics, and so forth. But again, there's a balance in this. There's no problem in actually talking. Holy fuck! There's literally been an attack on our constitutional republic by the attempt on that person's life. But we can't just immediately jump to certain things like, oh, he must have been using this firearm, he must have done this, or must have been that, and blah, blah, blah. You let that stuff flow in.
Mm-hmm. By the way, did he just say it must have been a 22?
That's what
what was he
Mello.
describing
That's what Mello
there?
was pushing. Mello was pushing this whole idea that
the fuck did
it
he
was
mean by
a 22 long rifle round or rounds, which again it's disingenuous. It's wrong.
So he said it was a rifle.
No, it's 22 LRs is the round itself, right? You can put it into a pistol, but you can also put it into a rifle. Okay, so basically, it's a type of ammunition that's very small. It's best for what's called plinking, which is just target practice against any sort of target, like metal, because you hear the plink. Okay, that's where the name comes from. Can it do damage? Can it kill? Yes. From that distance, that's debatable. People also don't seem to understand that when it comes to snipers, they also take in consideration movement of the target as well as wind. And they even go for fucking humidity. So to do the damage onto Trump with a 22, I say it's statistically impossible. Okay, because at a certain, it starts to lose momentum as well.
Well, I'm going to have to do
the
the
ammunition.
math myself then.
You'll start to actually see tumbling of rounds. Okay, and distance, you might actually just have this thing bounce on your stomach and doesn't even pierce you. It just bounces on your stomach and falls off, and because of the environment. So it's little things like that aren't discussed by people who aren't familiar with firearms. I'm not an expert. Fuck that. But I know enough, not just about firearms, but I know about fucking physics. Okay? I'm not an expert about that either. Not a doctorate. I don't have a doctorate in physics, but I know basic stuff. I paid attention in school. I read books. So again, any criticism on me needs to go up against those things first if it's to be proven valid. And in all cases, those attempts will be shot down. Please continue, Bullseye.
Okay, this is interesting information because I haven't really did that research on to know about this information that was happening during that shooting that the prior that happened and what was said before the shootings. All I know is Biden suggested there's a bullseye on Trump's back. They've been trying to put him in prison. They've been trying to slander the guy. This has been an ongoing theme of trying to take Trump out. So I'm hinging on my opinions right now on what led to that moment right now. Although there is footage already brought up about the assassin already shot. People blaming some kid online just because he knows how to use a gun too. But my whole indication is going to be pointing out what led to that moment.
Yes,
but
I'm glad that you say that because that's what matters. Not the logistics of the operation or how many shooters may have been involved. The motivation that led up to that moment. Thank you, Bullseye.
Yeah, and that's the thing that matters to me the most. You can make any indication you want. I don't care about the shooter. The two shooters supposedly already died. Now we're just making up more shooters.
Doesn't matter if there are more shooters. The bottom line is motivation.
Yes. What's the motivation? I think, for now, this is only based upon what I know so far. Democrats had a motivation based upon the past 4 years, in fact, 8 years, trying to impeach the guy, get this guy in prison, slander. He's a fascist, war criminal.
Truth be told, they tried to disqualify him from the presidency prior to 2016. Even before he announced it, because they said, oh, he might be. Because he said, maybe I will. They said, oh, shit, he might? No, we gotta set a precedent, lawful, through the law, that will prevent him from even running. They did that prior to 2016.
I would also like to point out that Biden did admit the Obama administration, by accident, planned the biggest voter fraud in the history of American politics. Just pointing out out there. Obama's administration. It's not just some slip of the tongue, bruh. But either way, I think people should just stop what they're doing and start actually talking about why, instead of like, okay, the shooter's dead. Who cares? Why did it happen? Biden, like I said, did say, again, he had a bullseye on Trump's back. There was obvious motivation they had to kill Trump in the first place. If it wasn't them, who was it? Who would it be? Not some kid online, not some kid who happened to know how to shoot. Meanwhile, they already got them. So I think they're just trying to point the finger at somebody else rather than actually look at the fact that they actually had a hit on Trump. That, or, and like I already said, pointed out the second part, which is also plausible, it could have been a way, and who knows, Trump maybe this was an inside job on Trump's part. Like, maybe if I do this, of an assassination, maybe I'd get more. We don't know. But I'm looking at it from two aspects right now. Either one's possible. I don't stop pointing fingers at people. There's no, believe it or not, there's not even proof that he was even there in the first place. So I don't even know where that even came from. I don't know if you agree with it or not.
Well, again, I know a few things. I've already stated them, but I'm also, again, waiting for other information to come out. which is the appropriate thing to do, is to, again, nothing's wrong with speculating and understanding, but there is a problem with saying this is a definitive fact without knowing at least the basics in certain things. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing I'm gonna do. Yes, I have opinions, but they're just only based upon the occurrency of what led to that. And I think more information will come out. Like Kimberly is already being tried at court. She's the head of Secret Service. She's already being tried at court. Now I don't know exactly, but all I know is she was the head, and she told the Secret Service to stand down during they had the shooter within the scope.
That still isn't officially confirmed. There is speculation that that was the case. There are certain people that are saying that was the case. And facing congressional hearings. So there is although anything she speaks there is basically under the law. So if she lies, she's in contempt of the court, or in contempt of Congress, which is actually worse. But yeah, that's currently what's going on with that, and it looks like we're expecting a resignation come Monday when it comes to the Secret Service assistant head.
Yeah. But either way, maybe by this week we get more information, and it starts with
Well,
her.
again, it's going to keep coming out because this is again
if anybody
an
knows what
assassination
actually
attempt.
went down, it would be Kimberly.
No, that's a foot soldier. That they took orders from somebody else. And then it all leads back to, the Democrat Party and all the elites. But, I'm going to wrap it up. I've been going for whatever long I've been doing. And I think I've gotten a lot out. Next time I discuss this topic, I hope to have working internet so I can actually of the event, provide the receipts, as the kids say, and show everyone why I'm not a slouch when it comes to intellectual matters, despite the haters wishing they were me. But I look forward to whatever video you decide to make on the topic, and you got a good, like I said, analytical mind, not influenced by the social influences of others. So as such, I think you should be able to do a good job when it comes to this